Hi, this is Robert Dakota with Worldviews Media, and I'm here at Contact in the Desert with Brien Foerster, who one of your specialty is elongated skulls.
Yeah.
Could you speak a little bit about that and what you've discovered?
Sure. Well, I saw elongated skulls on TV when I was a kid, and it wasn't until I actually got to Peru that I saw them in person. And the odd thing is that there's very little academic information about them, like from archaeologists. Since I was staying in Peru, I decided to explore on my own, and that has become a major part of my study. The cranial deformation, which is altering the shape of a child's skull, happened all over the planet about 2,000 years ago. But the largest and most interesting skulls are located in Peru and Bolivia.
Uh-huh. And what are some of your favorite spots that you've ever traveled to?
Well, my favorite areas now are Egypt, Peru, Bolivia, and Easter Island. And that's kind of what I'm focusing on. I'm not one of these people who explores everything on the planet, because I like to focus my energy on specific areas. That way I hopefully can become an expert rather than just a spokesperson.
I've been to Easter Island and I noticed the ahu there look very similar to the stones in Peru. Did you find there's some connection between those cultures?
It's possible. The site I believe you're talking about is called Vinapu, and it's a basalt wall, which is quite a hard stone. And the stones are polygonal like what we find in Peru around Cusco, and they tend to fit together still after a long period of time super tightly, so you can't fit a human hair or a piece of paper in the joints.
Wow, that's amazing. And what about Pumapunku and Tiwanaku? What are your impressions of those places?
Well, Pumapunku and Tiwanaku are actually the same site. It's just Pumapunku was not reconstructed like Tiwanaku was. The Tiwanaku civilization showed up about 2,000 years ago, and they rearranged some of the stones at Tiwanaku itself. But Pumapunku is what's left of it is more or less intact, and there is no other site in Peru and Bolivia with the same style of construction, and in fact there's no place I know of on the planet that has similar construction technique.
Huh. I was asking you earlier the curiosity about all the different faces at Tiwanaku. Does that represent anything to you?
Some people think that it represents all the different ethnic people of the earth, but the trouble is they're so badly eroded that it's hard to make that judgment. The interesting thing is a number of them appear to be wearing turbans, which is not something which is common in the ancient cultures of that area, or Peru or Bolivia in general.
We sat in on your lecture and it seems like these beings were born with these elongated skulls. Is that what you're concluding or coming to?
That's what I'm pursuing. There are about 4% of them that are so large and natural shaped in appearance that the idea that they were cranial headboarded, which is flattening of the skull, is highly unlikely. So what we're possibly looking at is an ancestral race of people who lived in, especially Paracas, which is on the coast of Peru, possibly up in Tiwanaku as well, that may have originally been born with elongated skulls. And over the course of time, through interbreeding with different normal-looking people, that natural look was starting to disappear, and that's when cranial deformation began.
Well, thank you so much, Brian. Are you enjoying your time here at Contact in the Desert?
I love Contact in the Desert. It's a wonderful experience, and I've already been invited back for 2017.
Nice. What is a website or your latest book that people watching this video might tune into your work through?
All of my work is at www.hiddenincatours.com, Hidden Inca Tours, and there you'll find connections to my 820 something videos on YouTube, photo sets, interviews, and all sorts of things like that. It's a mega website. It has a search function too, so if you typed in Pumapunku, automatically would come up videos and photo sets and articles I've written and things like that.
Nice. And what's your latest book that's out?
I'm just finishing a book called Aftershock. It's about the great cataclysm of 12,000 years ago, and I'm hoping that it'll be out in about June 15th, 2016, which is only about a week away.
Wow, fantastic. Cool. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.